if you're going to develop your own business, how many people are thinking about going into their own practice? Okay, I'm just going to talk to you guys about this. Okay, if you ever think about going into your own practice, these are the 5 issues that I would suggest dealing with. Vision is basically, what do you love doing? I'll give you a quick little story, okay? There's the Mountain Indians and there's the Valley Indians. Mountain Indians are warriors. The Valley Indians are farmers. And one day, you know those winters that are really, really bad? Well, this was a horrible winter, and the Mountain Indians came down and they said, we got to get some food, and they attacked basically the farmers, and they take all their food, and one of their Indians takes a little boy. And what ends up happening is the farmer Indians are really angry. How can they take all our food? How can they take this one boy? And they say, we're going to get 30, 40, 50 of the fiercest Indians we have as farmers, and we're going to make sure that we show them we're going to get our Indian back. And they start to go up the hill, these 50 Indians. And the first week, they go up 200 feet up the mountain. And then the second week, they go another 300 feet. And the third week, they go 400 feet. And now they're saying, you know, these warrior Indians, they're really, really tough. And they're warriors. And are we really doing the right thing? And they start talking to each other. And they see this lady walking up the hill. And another hour or two, they hear all this commotion up in the mountains. And they hear all this yelling and screaming. And another hour or two, they see the lady coming down. And in her hand is basically this baby. And they say, we don't understand. Here you are, you're one Indian, and we have 50 of our fiercest people. And you were able to go up there and do it. How'd you do it? And she looks at him and she says, it's not your child. What you got to do is you got to find your child. You got to find the place you like doing. And that's what I mean by vision. That's what I mean by uniqueness. You want to find what you really love doing. So if you like doing the personal injury, do it. If you don't like doing it, don't do it. Second thing is income. In my criminal cases, I charge a premium. Any person that I deal with, I charge a premium. So if in fact somebody's getting $1,500, $2,000 for a case, I'm usually trying to charge $2,500, maybe $3,000. I've been doing it for a long time. I rate as far as I'm concerned. If they don't want me, that's fine. They can go elsewhere. But I charge a little bit of a premium. And you want to make sure that you're getting at least a really good, fair price on it. The third thing is productivity. Okay? And productivity is systems. So if you look at the material I gave you, I have a checklist, and I have a system with my secretaries. They're really, I gave you this one thing is my information on accidents. You can see that, no? Yes. The accident information, and that's my accident information that we usually take on personal injury cases. And here's the checklist. And my secretaries knows basically what letters to get out. So I don't have to tell her, look, or dictate a defendant's letter. She knows we have a form defendant's letter. It goes out automatically. I just check it, and I have a system or productivity on it. So that's kind of what you want to do. You want to develop productivity. You want to develop a system as best as you can. Delegating is a great thing. I love delegating. My secretaries, what we have is we have 3 secretaries in my Rockland office. One secretary basically does all of my criminal and all of my real estate. The other secretary does all my contracts and all my personal injury and any of the dictation I have. And my other paralegal, he does all the commercial litigated cases. And everybody has a specialty. And the way I got about doing that is I ended up basically saying, what would you like to do? And each person had an area that they like to do. So that goes along with my vision. I want to give them whatever they like doing so they feel, number one, they're useful and they like what they're doing. That's how I feel about how to run an office and how to build a business. Now, we have a case now that's pending in Manhattan on a holder in due course. You remember that from UCC? Boy, I hated the UCC course. But we have a case. It's a litigated case. It's holder in due course. We claim the client is owed $250,000. The note was signed in 2001, statute of limitations, but the note was due in 2011. So our claim is 9% on the $250,000, and we're claiming he owes basically $550,000. We went in an interesting way, but we're moving for summary judgment. And we moved for summary judgment on the holder in due course. And they send us back a bunch of papers. I look at this stack of papers. We already sent them a stack of papers. And I look at their stack of papers, and I said, you know, I don't feel like doing this today. So I gave a copy to my client, the person that referred the case to me because she wants her looking it over, and my paralegal. And I said, you know what, guys, look it over, send me comments. I got to get it done by May 27th. That's your responsibility to send me your comments, and I'll look it over on Monday. I knew I was teaching this course, and I wanted to just prep a little bit for this course. So I said, I'll look at it on Monday. I got another 10 days or so to deal with it, and I'll deal with it. And they're supposed to send me back their comments. I'm going to let my paralegal do 80% of the work. And he's going to come in, and he's going to give me it, and then I'm going to look it over, and I'm going to do 80% of the work. Whatever's left, actually. And then we'll talk about it together, and then I'm going to give it to my secretary, who is a stickler on grammar. Even though I was an English teacher, she's a real stickler on grammar. And I'm going to give it to her, basically, to finish off. I'll look it over, and then it goes out. So that's what's known as delegating. There's a great book on delegating, which is known as the E-Myth. Anybody hear of the E-Myth? No? Yes? Maybe? The book is a really fine book about somebody who's how to put it, a great pie maker. She makes the best pies. You know those apple caramel pies that are really, really good and really taste well? Well, she starts doing really, really well. And the problem ends up is she's cooking all day and night because she's doing so well. And then she has to do the accounting, she has to do the legal work, she has to take care of the office and the rent, and she has to take care of and soon she has no time for herself, and she starts hating the business. The object is to delegate. So I don't touch any of the billing in my office. I delegate it. I don't have to pay any checks because my wife is an accountant. I delegate it. And you do the things you really like doing, and you delegate the other things. That's my suggestion. The last one is DOS, which is dangers, opportunities, and strengths. And you look at, if Cisco looked at what was happening a long time ago and they were able to move into the right position, they certainly would have done a whole lot better. They're doing okay now, but they could have moved into a better situation. There are all sorts of other companies that have gone bankrupt because they never looked at what their competition was what their opportunities were and what their strengths are. So that's what DOS is. So if you're thinking about going into business, I would suggest basically when you start the business, you consider those 5 factors. I think it will bring you from X to 10X, and that's what we claim. And when I deal with or operate with a business, that's what I talk about with them.